Hey everyone, this is Gary with CloudNet 360, and it is a beautiful Sunday morning here. I just want to give you two quick marketing tips. These are a couple things I've covered before, but I think they're so important that it's worth covering again and again. So today I'm just out on a little morning hike, and of course you can see my hat, which is promoting our Soccer Pro brand. And if I come down here, you can see my shirt, which is printed backwards, but it says Soccer Labs. Now, I'm gonna go a little lower. Oh man, that's too low, because I just exposed my cheap Walmart fanny pack, which all my kids are totally embarrassed about. And you'll see there's no other kid around, because if there was, I couldn't be wearing that fanny pack. That's not the point though. Point is, if you are going to buy clothing, buy it with your brand on it and wear it. Okay, this hat is just a baseball hat, but it has my brand on it. I'm gonna wear a hat anyhow. Why should I advertise for someone else? Advertise your own brand. Every time you put on a shirt, make sure it has your brand on it. Make sure it has a brand on it that you own on your hat. Put it on your car. Everything you have, just stick your brand on it. It doesn't cost much. It's very cheap for this type of advertising. And I need to wear a hat, I need to wear a shirt. I guess I don't need this fanny pack, but it is pretty awesome, I think. So now I get to go hands-free. But anyhow, that's besides the point. Point is, make sure you are branding every single thing you have. Now, the second point is, I said I'm Gary from CloudNet 360, right? Well, why am I wearing Soccer Pro and Soccer Labs? Well, I do have a lot of CloudNet 360 clothing as well. It's a little bit more, actually a little bit more dress wear, you know, nicer shirts, polos, more business things. Soccer is a little bit more casual, so I use that brand on more of my casual wear. But anyhow, I still have CloudNet 360 t-shirts, and what I do is I put our brand on there, but I also like to put a tagline on, you know, and our tagline is sell more faster. And one of the things I do on the t-shirts is I say CloudNet 360, sell more faster, and I say, ask me how, okay? Because I want to try to get people to engage in a conversation about CloudNet 360 just from wearing that t-shirt, and it does work. Let me tell you, I will get people that will just come up to me and say, okay, tell me how, right? And actually, sometimes I forget I'm wearing the shirt, and I have to do a double take and, you know, think about it and go, tell you how what? And then they'll say, well, your shirt. And then we bust into the conversation. So, brand everything you have. Now, the second thing is, again, CloudNet 360, Soccer Pro, Soccer Labs. In some ways, it seems like you know, like a schizophrenic type of marketing, but it's not really, because CloudNet 360 is the main game. But once you know how to do marketing, the great thing about the internet is you can go off and you can have these other sub-brands, and these are extremely targeted, right? Soccer Pro, it's not all sports pro, it's Soccer Pro. And this, Soccer Labs, well, we could have called it All Sports Labs, All Sports Performance Center, whatever. But we are really targeting soccer. We want to clearly identify with soccer. We don't want to have to compete with all the other multi-purpose, general purpose type of training centers or software. We want to just laser focus in on that niche and make sure that all the people that are playing regular football or baseball or volleyball, they don't care about us, they don't relate to us, but every single soccer player knows that if they want to go to the best training center for soccer, they come to Soccer Labs. If you want to use the best software for soccer, you use Soccer Pro. Okay, that's the advantage of laser targeting your marketing message. Now, again, to my second point, I guess I'm on to my third point now, but I also want to emphasize that once you have a platform, you know, whether we have CloudNet 360 as our main game or you're using CloudNet 360, you can go off and you can create multiple different businesses. Now, I don't think that you should distract from your business, but when you can get into micro niches, you know, soccer software, soccer training center, or whatever else, you'll find that once you master CloudNet 360, once you set things up, you get the automation going, all of a sudden you have all this free time on your hands and you're thinking to yourself, well, what am I going to do now? You know, most entrepreneurs can't sit still. We don't sit around and get a successful business going and then just sit back and watch TV. What we're doing is like, oh my God, I've got 2 hours in the day available. I need to do something with that. And typically we have tons of ideas, right? We typically have more ideas than time, really. So when you master CloudNet 360 and you have your business totally automated and your marketing is set up, your funnels are set up, your CRM automation is set up, those things tend to go on autopilot. You're going to find yourself with free time. Go ahead and start that second business, third business, fourth business. Better if they're in a related field, but not necessarily so. Sometimes they can be in a completely different field. Just make sure you don't dilute from your existing business. But copying, whoops, I think my battery just went dead on my gimbal. Copying, pasting, all those different things that you are now capable of doing with your business, you can copy, paste, and replicate into your new businesses. You don't have to go off and discover how to do all these things. You already know how to do these things. That's actually a huge value of using a system like CloudNet 360 is that, oops, there it goes again. I'm just going to hold this now. Is that once you know how to do this, once you have the recipe for success, you can replicate that over and over and over. You don't need to spend all that upfront investment in time and education that you did the first time you learned the software. Once you learn it, it's not a bad learning curve, but once you do it, you can just replicate it and start cranking out those businesses. You know, these micro niche businesses are fairly easy to be successful, right? You can go off, you can make a bunch of money, and what I like to do is I like to create these in what I call a lifestyle business, something that I'm interested in. I'm already interested in soccer. I'm already interested in, you know, soccer development, right? I like the software, I like the development, I like the sport. So it was an obvious niche. I've got another lifestyle business I'm creating on something else that I like to do, and I'm not going to share that one with you quite yet, but if you want to jump on board, we are going to have an opt-in page. I'm going to take you through every single step of what I'm doing to create that lifestyle niche business that I'm going to work on the side and isn't going to interfere with Soccer Pro. It's not going to interfere with Soccer Labs or CloudNet 360. It's going to be something I'm doing already as a hobby, something I enjoy doing, and I'm just going to convert that from a hobby into a money-making venture. So now my hobby is my business is my hobby, and I get all the benefit of all the things I learned from the hobby. But I get to turn it into a business. I get to make money from it. So now instead of spending money on my hobby, I will make money from my hobby, and I'll be able to do more of it and justify buying some cool new toys. Yeah, that's always a great thing, isn't it? All right, now I've been talking a little longer than I wanted. I think I've covered 4 topics instead of 2. So I'm going to check out here. This is Gary with CloudNet 360, with Soccer Pro, with Soccer Labs, and a soon-to-be new brand, which again, if you want to jump on board, see how I do it from the start, then look for our opt-in page, get on board, you will see the videos. Some things, if you're already a CloudNet 360 member, will be second nature to you, but hopefully I teach you something that you didn't know, and frankly, we're always looking for your participation because I know that you know something that I don't, and when you share that with the group, we all become smarter, and as a community, we all are more successful. So jump on board, join us, learn and teach at the same time, and you guys have a great weekend. Gary with CloudNet 360, helping you sell more faster. Bye now.